Hello everyone. In this section of information, we will study about the microbes in human welfare, which is the 10th chapter of our NCRT book. And the information which is been included in this section of information will carry the discussion for microbes in the household products, microbes which are important with respect to the industrial products or the commercial importance or significance of the microorganisms like yeast and alcohol, then their historical background, sources of antibiotics, enzymes, organic acids, then preparation and various types of organic acids, vitamins which are being included in this section of study. So why we need to study these microbes? So most of the microbes which are present in the environment are basically harmful, or you can say it can be useful for us. So the microorganisms which are not visible with naked eyes and viewed under the microscope are basically known as microorganisms, or simply they are known as microbes. They generally include bacteria, protozoans, yeast, microscopic plants, and viruses. Most of the viruses and viroids or pyrons, they are basically the proteinaceous particles or infectious agents which are basically included for the study purpose under the microscopic organism in connection to the their study which is being uh, dealt with the help of microscopes. So microscopes are almost omnipresent and they are found everywhere. Either most of the microbial organism, they are spread over the entire biosphere, either in the soil, you can see their presence in the water, air, inside our bodies and that of other animal and plants. So they live in all conditions, not fatal to living beings, and present in almost every conceivable environment. Some are deadly parasites of plants, animals, and human beings. Some microbes are also present in such places where there is no other life forms which can exist. Example, they can be found deep inside the geysers, thermal vents, where the temperature may be as high as 100 degrees centigrade, or they can be found, or they can be viable when cooled under 100 and minus 190 degrees centigrade, that is at cryopreservation level also. So however their most favorable habitat is soil, where they occur in abundance. In laboratories, microbes are grown and multiplied on specific culture media by maintaining the various nutrients and hormones. So culturing of microbes is basically a specified technique that is performed during the microbial studies, and the branch of study of the microbes is known as microbiology. So we are here very much well aware that a large number of disease in plants, animals, and human beings are basically caused by the microorganisms. They also spoil our food and other edible items. So some molds, they are very well known to spoil bread, leather, shoes, or even clothes in the rainy season. So microorganisms basically, you will be surprised to know that particularly bacteria which resides inside our body and provide clues to the to our disease, nutrition, and obesity, and how well drugs will work on us. So bacteria, they start to colonize inside the intestine shortly after the birth of the human baby, and the adults carry nearly 100 trillion microbes. So they help in maintaining and digesting much of what we are eating. They also synthesize certain vitamins that we cannot. So there are innumerable bacteria that have been helping in so many ways to maintain our day to day life biological functions. So in this chapter basically we'll study about those categories of the microorganisms which are ultimately helpful for human beings. So in this section of information we'll basically study about the microorganisms which are helpful in forming different types of food, or commercial importance of the microorganisms with respect to the food. So let's see. Um, Basically it has been classified into two sections, that is microbes which are helpful in household products, and commercial uses of the microbes, that is industrial use of the microorganisms. So we'll study the first topic, that is the useful microorganisms with in connection to the household products. So this is the picture which is being given in your NCERT book. It's about the bacteria. You can see here on figure number 10.1 they have shown you some bacilli, which are basically a rod shaped bacteria which is magnified up to 1500 resolution power under the microscope. Under this bacteria, or you can say below this bacteria, we have this figure, that is 10.1b, which is showing the spherical or cocci spherical bacteria. Then we have a rod shaped bacterium showing the flagella magnified up to the 50,000 magnification under the microscope. Likewise, in the figure 10.2 we are able to see the structure of the viruses. In figure 10.a we are seeing the structure of a bacteriophage, which includes head, a collar region which is the middle part, and the tail part which is known as the posterior region of the virus, including the tail plate and the prongs. Now we have the picture of an adenovirus which causes respiratory infection, and in the 10.2c figure we are able to see the rod shaped tobacco mosaic virus, that is TMV, which is magnified up to the resolution of 1 lakh to 1,50,000 microns. So you can see the next figure, that is 10.3, where the colonies of the bacteria which are growing in the petri dish in a laboratory condition. And in figure 10.3b we are seeing the fungal colony growing in a petri dish. So let's see the next slide. This slide includes the microbes which are helpful in the formation of the food items, basically with we are using in our household products. So the first one is curd. Production of curd or curd like products are the very common examples of fermentation or fermenting activities of the microorganisms. Fermentation is basically or you can say it's a process in which the pasteurized milk or pasteurization of the milk is done in order to develop souring and flavor substances and to preserve the milk. Consumption of the fermented milk displays numerous health benefits beyond providing basic nutrients. So fermented milk products are well recognized to have therapeutic, anti-cholesterolemic and anti-carcinogenic properties besides their basic nutritive value. The most common microorganisms which convert milk into curd are Lactobacillus species and Streptococcus thermophilus. It's a bacteria. So these bacteria are basically known as lactic acid bacteria, or commonly labeled as LAB, that is lab. And besides the conversion of milk into lactic acid, the lab also improve, that is lactic acid bacteria also improve its nutritional quality by increasing the vitamin B12. So LAB are present in our stomach, where they check disease causing microorganisms The common Indian curd prepared by mixing milk and water and then warming it at around 76.6 degrees centigrade to evaporate some of its liquid water, and then the temperature of the milk is brought down around 50 to 40 degrees centigrade by keeping it in a cool place. So some amount of starter, or you can say the curd or inoculum, is being added into this milk, and the fermentation process it begins afterwards. During this process, the lactose sugar of the milk is converted into lactic acid, which acidifies the fermenting media. So, acidic medium helps in coagulating the milk protein by partially digesting. So, this convert the coagulated or concentrate the curd which is being prepared from this methodology. Likewise, the next fermented product, or you can say the household product, which is being of regular use for making different items like dosa, idli, jalebi, and bread, is the dough making. So these food items, they are prepared by basically the fermentation process in which one or more kind of microbes they are being used. These microbes are responsible for the characteristic flavor, texture, and quality of the product. The dough which is used for making dosa and idli is allowed to ferment overnight for around 10 to 12 hours. The bacteria which comes from the atmosphere particularly includes the Leuconostoc, Streptococcus faecalis, and Pedococcus cerevisiae. So these cause fermentation so that the dough increases in volume and gets sour. Increase in the volume of the dough is due to the production of carbon dioxide gas which is being released as a result of fermentation. So similarly, the dough which is used for making bread is mixed with baker's yeast, that is the common yeast, that biological name is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and is allowed to stand for several hours in a warm place. The sugar which is present in the dough is rapidly fermented by the yeast with the production of carbon dioxide and alcohol, and this process is known as leavening of the bread. The carbon dioxide release is the end product of the fermentation, which is responsible for raising the bread. So this was all about how dough making was done with the help of microorganisms. So next common item which is found in household kitchens is basically a cheese. So cheese is partially degraded by the concentrate of the milk fat and casein manufactured by the activity of microorganism. It is eaten all over the globe. There are several hundred varieties of cheese which are prepared by selected type of microorganism. The quality and characteristic is basically determined by the biochemical activities which is being specified by the type of microorganism performing that activity. The next category includes the other household product in which toddy is also there. So toddy is a traditional drink used in some parts of the southern India. It is being made by fermenting the latex obtained from the toddy plant or coconut water. Likewise, we have sausages prepared from the fermentation of the beef and pork by lactic acid bacteria. Likewise, the lab which we have already discussed in the previous section, where the curd formation was occurring, is basically the lactic acid group of bacteria, which is among the most important groups of microorganisms used in the food fermentation. They contribute to the taste and texture of the fermented products and inhibit food spoilage by the bacteria by producing growth inhibiting substances and large amount of lactic acid. Let's see this is the Saccharomyces cerevisiae, a fungus, single unicellular fungus, which is used in the fermentation product. This picture is showing the electron microscopic view of the Saccharomyces cerevisiae. The next information of microbes are in connection to their commercial use or industrial use. So what are the different products we are obtaining from the industries? This include alcohol, organic acids, vitamins, enzymes, hormones, amino acids, antibiotics and vaccines. So most of the things which is given or mentioned in your book, it includes the information regarding the formation of alcohol. So how the alcoholic formation or fermentation of the alcohol it takes place. See, most of the bacteria, you can say yeast and see, we have seen the picture of the yeast common yeast, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is responsible for the fermentation of the different fruit juices. So fermented drinks are typically made from fruit juices, herbal infusions, soaked grains, green and black tea that we have been allowed to culture and ferment for a period of time. So they include beer, wine, as well as probiotic beverages like kombucha, milk, kefir, water kefir, tepache, beach, kvass, and vase sodas. So microbes, especially yeast, they have been used from the time immemorial for the production of beverages like wine, beer, whiskey, brandy, or rum. For this purpose, as you know, Saccharomyces cerevisiae is used for bread making and commonly called as brewer's yeast is used for fermenting malted cereals and fruit juices to produce the ethanol. Depending upon the type of raw material used for the fermentation and the type of process with or without which the distillation, different types of alcoholic drinks they are being obtained. So wine and beer are produced without distillation, whereas whiskey, brandy and rum are produced by the distillation of fermented broth. The photographs of the fermented plants are shown in the textbook of your NCERT. I have also taken the picture. Here you can see the fermentation plant, and you can see the picture of the fermenters in figure number 10.4. So this is all about the fermentation products. Let's see the information related to the antibiotics. These are also the commercially explored, or you can say commercially developed products which are being formed by the useful microorganisms. So what are antibiotics? Antibiotics, they are the medicines that help in stopping the infections caused by bacteria. They do this by killing the bacteria or by keeping them from copying themselves or reproducing. So the word antibiotic means against life. Any drug that kills germs in your body is technically an antibiotic. So let's see the what is the basic antibiotics. Like Penicillium notatum is the fungus through which we are getting the penicillium, then streptomyces from different fungal species of streptomyces. So basically antibiotics are produced by the microorganisms, which are regarded as one of the most significant discoveries of the 20th century and have greatly contributed towards the welfare of human society. Most of the antibiotics, they are the chemical substances which are helpful in killing or retarding the growth of disease causing microorganisms, or basically the bacterias. Alexander Fleming in 1928, while working on staphylococcus bacteria, they have observed a mold growing in one of the his unwashed culture plates around which the staphylococci could not grow. So he founded out that it was due to the chemical produced by the mold, and he named it as penicillin after the mold Penicillium notatum. However, its full potential as an effective antibiotics was established by Ernest Chain, an Howard Florey. So, this antibiotic was extensively used to treat American soldiers wounded in the World War II. Fleming, Chain, and Florey were awarded the Nobel Prize in 1945 for this discovery. After penicillin, other antibiotics were also purified from other microbes. So it's the question. So I'm giving one of the question for the assessment for you people. Can you name some other antibiotics and find out their sources? So most of the antibiotics have greatly improved our capacity to treat deadly diseases such as plague, whooping cough, diphtheria, and leprosy. So which used to kill millions all over the globe. Now let's see the chemicals, enzymes, and bioactive molecules. Basically, this section of the slide is about the microbes which are used for the commercial and industrial production, and these include the species such as Aspergillus niger, which is used for formation of citric acid, then Acetobacter aceti for making acetic acid, Clostridium butylicum for making butyric acid, then lactobacilli for making lactic acid. Likewise, information regarding the formation of ethanol is being given in concern to the Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and some of the streptokinase. See, this is the antibiotic which is being produced by the streptococcus and is modified by the genetic engineering, which is used as a clot blaster to remove the clots from the blood vessels of the patients who have undergone myocardial infarction leading to heart attack. So this is the very you can say important line which you should take into the consideration. Likewise, one example for bioactive molecule is being given here, and that is cyclosporin A. It is used as an immunosuppressant in case of organ transplantation. So the fungus which is being involved in this case is Trichoderma polysporum, and one example of statin is also being given here, which for production of which the yeast is responsible is Monoasker purpureus, which has been commercialized for blood cholesterol lowering agent. So this is the exceptional examples which which is being included in your book. So try to learn this and try to retain this in your mind. This is a bit important point. Thank you.